Welcome to the Holistic Entrepreneur with holistic nurse practitioner, success coach, and best-selling author, Bonnie Groessl. Bonnie and her expert guests share tips, tools, and strategies to achieve success on your holistic entrepreneur journey. Each show features answers to common entrepreneur challenges, along with a healthy dose of support and motivation. Now, please welcome the host of the Holistic Entrepreneur, Bonnie Groessl.
Well, welcome everyone. This is Bonnie Groessl, your host here at the Holistic Entrepreneur. Well, this is the first week of July 2020, so we're doing our group angel reading, and I'm so excited to share this with you. Something happened today that has never happened before on a group angel reading. I don't know if it's the full moon, the eclipse, the Mercury is in retrograde, we're headed toward the fifth world. I don't know what it is, but all of the cards wanted to be chosen. They all were jumping cards, all of them. Sometimes I'll have one or two jumping cards, and the rest I select with guidance as I'm doing the reading. But today, all of them fell out. All of them were jumping cards. So these messages really want to be heard today. And again, I've said this before, these aren't necessarily things you don't know. At some level, at your soul level, higher consciousness level, this stuff. Maybe it's in your subconscious, but we need reminders. So this isn't necessarily new information, but it's affirmations, confirmation, validation that, of your thoughts, of actions, those kinds of things. And as always, I always want to make sure that I thank you for being here. I know that time is our most precious asset, and I so value you and sharing time with you here on the show. So thank you for being here. Now, whether you're listening to this, when it's first recorded in July of 2020 or 2 years from now, it doesn't matter, because the messages are there for you whenever you hear them. Because time isn't linear, right? It's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's kind of all happening at once. And so know that whatever you take in, some resonate with you when you hear the reading, some won't, some might a week after that. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you're meant to hear, whatever you're meant to take from this, just know that you will. Now, the information that I share here is educational, informational, and motivational, I hope, but it's not meant to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment either. I always want to preface every show with that little caveat for all of us. And make sure before you leave today that you check out the show page. You can find me on bonnielinks.com. It's a place where I put all kinds of free stuff to help you on your journey, and especially during this difficult, unprecedented time in our history. So check that out and see what's there for you. And I always put the monthly angel reading right at the top of that page, so it's always there for you as well. And then, of course, you can connect with me at bonniegroessl.com. And that's where I put all of the shows from, the past 10 years between the Gifted Choice and the Holistic Entrepreneur are archived there. So you can find stuff, years ago that were recorded years ago. And then if you want to learn more about what my husband Mike and I do for our business at M&B Global Solutions, you can find that out there too. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the reading. I am so excited to share these with you because this is news to me too. And these messages, whatever they might be, are really, really wanting to be heard today. And that's why they all chose themselves. So the card decks that I used, just to kind of give you some background here. And again, how I choose these is I don't choose them really, they choose me. I meditate on them a little bit and on the whole angel reading piece and set my intentions, and whatever comes, and they want to be selected. So we have angel answers, butterfly oracle cards for life changes, and we're certainly going through a lot of changes in our lives right now, aren't we? And then angels of abundance. Those are the three decks, which is the interesting thing about these three decks is I don't think I've ever had them in this order before. I've never had these three together before. So that's another interesting thing that's a little different. So let's begin with angel answers. And the first card that comes to us, and by the way, I will put a JPEG image of all of the cards so that you can download it if you want to, or you can make it bigger so that you can see the card a little bit better, because it's difficult to see on a computer screen like this. The first card that comes to us is listen to your intuition. You know, we all have intuition, and sometimes we don't hear it. And when we do hear it, sometimes we don't trust it, right? So this is a card to remind us that we all have all the answers. Our inner guidance, our inner wisdom. I mean, we all have that. We all have that connection. And so remember that it's there for you. Listen to it, accept it, trust it, right? Listening to your intuition. It's, you know, if you ask a question, the answer is there. The answer will come. But we have to be still enough to hear it, right? And the second card that comes to us is within the next few months. Within the next few months. And what this is saying to me is months could be moments, days, months, years, whatever. Because as I mentioned before, time is not linear. Time is kind of happening all at the same time. So what you wish for, what you hope for, what you want to manifest is probably right there, but you don't necessarily see it in your physical environment. But just know that it's there. So it's coming. So this card says to me that it's coming. It's on the way. Don't have any doubt that it's not going to happen. It's within the next few months or moments or hours or days or weeks or whatever, because time is sort of all happening at the same time anyway. Oh, I love this card. This is the third card from this deck, and it's simply yes. So if you've been asking a question, if you've been wondering about something, if you've been, struggling with something, know that the answer is yes. Already this is telling us a story, isn't it? So listen to your intuition, and it's going to happen soon. And yes is the answer. So whatever you're wondering, is this going to work out? Is this going to happen? Am I going to blank? Yes is the answer. The next set of cards is the Butterfly Oracle cards for life changes. And the first card that comes to us is healthcare change. What this card signifies to me, when I read the cards, I hold them, I look at the image, I feel the energy of the card. And what this is saying to me actually has to do with what's going on in the world with the pandemic, that there is change coming, change in a positive way. And so if you're asking a question about, is this pandemic going to end? Am I going to be able to do things again, meet with people, be in groups? The answer is yes, right? And there's a healthcare change. So that's part of it, that I think that things will improve and get better. It won't be normal as we knew normal before, because nothing ever is. When you have some major event in your life, whether it's a wedding or having a baby or a pandemic or whatever, you can't ever really go back to the way it was. What you go to is a new normal. And so this card is validation that a new normal is coming. Now, the healthcare change to me also means, because they're wanting me to share this with you, that we're going to have to look at healthcare differently. Maybe more focus on wellness and not waiting until you're sick to need healthcare. And the healthcare industry as a whole, at least in the United States here, I think has to, and probably has already started, to look at things differently. Do you have to always travel to an office, to a clinic or whatever to be seen, to get the care that you need? Some of that stuff can be done virtually, and I think some clinics and offices are beginning to do that. So healthcare change means a lot of things. And then heavenly signs is the next card. Again, this kind of goes along with your intuition, with paying attention. Notice the signs. There are signs out there. And if you focus on something, make sure you're focusing on something the right way, right? You want to focus on what you want, not what you don't want. So say you're dealing with financial issues now because the economy is really in trouble right now, at least in the US. Notice the signs and notice what you're focusing on. Are you focusing on the money you don't have, the bills that you're afraid you won't be able to pay? Or are you focusing on gratitude and how grateful you are to at least have what you have and know that things will be better? Do you have confidence that things will be better? So, heavenly signs, notice the signs. And if you think about that, you will notice them more, because otherwise life gets busy and gets in the way, and we don't really pay attention to that stuff. 3 cards came from this deck as well. We've got lots of cards today. And the next card is hobbies. He maybe doesn't want to be seen. Hobbies. And what this is saying, what they want me to tell you is there's so much stress. There's so many things going on. Don't forget that creative part of you, the fun stuff that you like to do that isn't necessarily work. Everybody has to have some hobbies, right? It's an outlet for creativity. If you paint, or for me, it's gardening, or if you're cooking, it's whatever your hobby is that doesn't feel like work. Hobbies should be fun. And I think this card is reminding us to have a little bit more fun, because, the butterfly cards are about life changes. Right now, the whole world is going through life changes. And so reminding us that, everything's going to be okay. Notice the signs and take care of that, nurture that fun side of you as well. The last deck, and there was only 2 cards that fell out from this deck, is Angels of Abundance. And the first card that comes to us is the obstacles and blocks are lifted. I love how this always tells a story. This is just so amazing. There have been a lot of obstacles for many, many people in the whole world, and blocks. Just know that there's light at the end of the tunnel, and we can see it now. It's closer than we think. Obstacles and blocks are being lifted, being pushed aside so that we can go forward into the fifth world with love and grace and gratitude. You don't have to feel stuck anymore, because know that those things are being lifted. They're being taken care of. You're being helped. And then, oh, I love this. The last card that comes to us, this is a perfect fitting for the end of our reading. Have courage to ask for and accept help. So perhaps the obstacles and the blocks that need to be lifted away in your situation, you need to get a little help with. You need to ask for help. It's okay. Asking for help is really a sign of strength rather than weakness. I know I struggle with this sometimes because I feel like, I can do it all myself. Well, we're not meant to live in isolation. We're not meant to do everything by ourselves. So ask for help. And most importantly, when you do ask for help, or even if you don't, accept it. Because when someone offers you help and you don't take it, it makes them feel bad. It's kind of like getting a compliment. If somebody compliments you on, I love your dress or your hair or whatever, and you kind of poo-poo it, you kind of like, this whole thing, they feel bad for even saying anything. So it's a lose-lose situation. So when you get a compliment, or when someone offers you help, accept it. It makes you feel good. It helps whatever situation you're dealing with, and it makes them feel good. So it's a win-win situation. So have the courage to ask for help, because some people don't want to do that. I know I struggle with that. But then accept it, because there is help out there for you. It might be from God, the universe, the angels. It might be from your neighbor, your friend, someone you don't even know, because there are lots of earth angels around as well. So ask for help, but then let it in. Let it in. So let's kind of recap, because this is another interesting journey, an interesting story. We started with listening to your intention. Listening to your intuition. We forget sometimes, or we don't trust that we have intuition. We all have intuitive powers. You don't have to be some, ascended spiritual master to have intuition. Everybody has that. So listen to your intuition and trust it. That's another part of that, is to trust it. And then whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen soon, within the next few months. But months, because time isn't linear, could be moments, days, weeks, months, years, whatever. It's like right there. So it's going to happen. Light at the end of the tunnel that we can see, because the answer is yes. Whatever you've been asking about, whatever you've been struggling with, whatever you've been worried about, the answer is a positive affirmation of yes. So again, be aware of what you're thinking of. Are you thinking about all the bad stuff in the worst case scenario? Because we get what we expect. What you put out there, what energy you put out there, is what you're going to get back. So if you're coming from a place of fear and lack, then that's what you're going to get more of. So come from a place of abundance and gratitude. And then the butterfly cards were healthcare changes, which we already see some of that is happening. And then also we need to look at our healthcare, our health situation a little bit differently. If you've not been terribly proactive with preventative things before, eating healthy, exercise, sleep right, get enough water, all those sorts of things, good self-care. If you have, kudos to you. But if you haven't, this is a time to sort of revisit that and say, okay, how am I really doing? Can I be doing better in, one or more areas? And then heavenly signs. There are signs all around us, but we often don't see them because life gets in the way. Things are busy. We are, doing this, that, and the other thing, checking things off our to-do list, and we don't take time to smell the roses, so to speak. So notice the signs. The signs are all around you. And then hobbies reminds us to play, right? To have fun, to do those things we enjoy, to be creative, not just to work all the time. Many of us might feel like we have to do that. We have to work all the time. I know it's another thing that I struggle with myself, feel like I have to work all the time. But if you spend time on something fun, hobbies or whatever, you're going to have way more energy to invest in the work that you think you have to do, or the care that you give to your family, or whatever. So don't forget about the hobbies for you. And then obstacles and blocks are lifted. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But we have to sometimes ask for help. So have the courage to ask for help, accept it. That's really important, because help is out there for you. So I hope that you enjoyed the angel reading for this month. And I will put it on thebonnielinks.com, as well as on YouTube. And of course, it'll be with all the rest of the podcast episodes as well. But the video version will be on Bonnie Links and on YouTube. So until next time, blessings, everyone. Well, thank you for joining me here at the Holistic Entrepreneur Show today. If you would like to learn how you can be a sought-after guest on popular podcasts, how to produce your own show, or even how to use content marketing to grow your business, go to bonnielinks.com and check out the offers that I have for you there. bonnielinks.com, BONNIELINKS.com, is also where you can sign up for my monthly newsletter, the Holistic Entrepreneur Update. It comes straight to your email with an update from me and all of the links to the last month's shows, just in case you missed anything. Now, this newsletter also gives you access to the show's guest gift page, where you can access all the great gifts from my guests over the years. And don't forget to subscribe to The Holistic Entrepreneur on your favorite podcast directory so that you'll automatically receive the newest episode when it's released. The Holistic Entrepreneur is brought to you by M&B Global Solutions.